Arden here. Good to see you again. Well, I am getting ready to switch over to my Christmas decorations. I know it's only November, but it takes me a little while to get everything switched over. I thought I would go ahead and show you how I switch these three centerpieces out and make them into Christmas, and then I have one other centerpiece that I want to show you how I put together. I'm going to start with the big lantern as I did the other day, and let me deconstruct this thing, and then I will be back to show you how I transform it into Christmas. Be right back. Hey everyone, I'm back, and I'm ready to reassemble my lantern centerpiece for Christmas. And as you can see, I have all of my parts and pieces that I need to assemble it. Again, I have my tray, which will serve as my base and will give me the parameter in which to build my decor. Of course, I have the lantern, and I have two candles there. This is the candle I had in it, and it is a Luminera candle, and it is a lovely candle. But I remembered last year that I had actually picked up this cool little candle from, I believe it was Lowe's, and it has a timer as well, and it moves. Check it out. Isn't that cute? So I thought that would be really cute in the evenings for Christmas. Very festive. Of course, as I explained in my other video, if you didn't see it, we needed to set our candle up a little bit. This is a small candle compared to this. This is a 9-inch candle. And this is, I would say, 6 inches. So I needed something to lift it up a little higher to get it up above the decor that I'm going to put around. So anyway, get back to that in a second, but let me show you the rest of the parts and pieces. Of course, I have a pipberry garland, one to go inside the lantern and one to go around the lantern. So that will go first, and then I have these lights, and they are on a timer, and they are micro mini, and they are LED lights, and you could either turn them on timer fading, timer flashing, or timer steady on. I usually put them timer steady on because I'm not one to have like flashing lights out in front of my house or on my Christmas tree. So I will have them steady on. Then I also have these beautiful sparkly picks. And I have some really pretty white sparkly poinsettias. And I'm going to insert right here the tablecloth that I have on my kitchen table. So I'm going to put it right here. And as you can see, all of these decor pieces are meant to go right with that tablecloth. I bought all of these pieces and parts with that tablecloth in mind. And as before, we're going to put this is just a part of the pipberry garland. So that goes in first. And you know what? I just had an idea. You're never going to see the bottom of this, right? Which has got an old nasty tag on it, but why not turn it upside down and see if that'll fit in. There you go. On top of that, it'll fit in there. Oh, look at that. It'll fit right in there. Here we go. And that lifts it up high. And I'm going to pull the pipberries so nobody will ever know that that candle holder is in there upside down. We've hidden it nicely. And let's start building our decor. Set your lantern down, make sure that it's centered. And next, we're going to put the pipberry garland, just red and white. And again, I got this from the pipberrybarn.com. I'll give you a link to that in the description and scroll it across the bottom there. And we're just going to put that right around. And I've gotten 3 really big picks, and what I did was these came in a big stem, and I just cut the stem apart. So I just bought one big stem, and I got all of this out of the stem. You'll see how I kind of compensated for not having 4 of the same size. I have 3 of this size and 1 smaller. So let's snug the 3 big ones on there. Let's do this. This one here in the back. This little sign, this little Merry Christmas sign, will go on the front. And it's hopefully will not hide. If I remember right, last year it did not hide the candle. Just on one side. And remember, you look at this from 4 sides. And I do point this Merry Christmas kind of out to the room so we can see it all the time. And if I can find another one this year, I was frustrated last year because I couldn't find 2 of the little signs. So, there we go. Turn around here. If I can get it centered correctly. I normally don't like to put a lot of things in the front of my, on the front side of my lantern, but I will this time because I need it. I need a little something more in there. And then let's just stick this on one side. And then put our little poinsettias in. One on either side, and one in the back. Now I have these little light sets, and I'm going to go ahead and turn them on for you guys. And I snug the battery holder down on one side where I can get to it. And then I have 2 of them that I had packed away with this, so I'm imagining I'm going to want 2 this year too. And then the other one. How's that looking on the front? I hope it looks okay. Snug that right down here. And let's go the other way on this one. Here we are with the topper. And as I explained, for those of you who are beginning crafters, this may seem a little daunting to you, but don't be afraid of trying to do something like this because it really adds to the end look of everything. All I did was take some white burlap wired ribbon and I made a craft bow, and I'll link my how to make a craft bow tutorial in the description. And then I took some of the same, I tried to find some picks that were similar to these berries, and I just tied them into the back with the pipe cleaner that I used to make the bow with. And then I took another piece of the ribbon and I folded it in half, and actually I glued the pieces this time. I glued the edges down. And then I measured around it, and then I glued it shut. Instead of tying it, this time I glued it. So as you'll see, it slides right on to that bulbous piece on the top. It's been in a Ziploc bag all summer long, so I'm sure it needs a little bit of tweaking, but that's the basic concept. So here we go. Here's the finished lantern with the topper and all of its glory here. I just love this. I just think it looks so pretty and festive, and it really matches the tablecloth. All right, I'm going to go put this on the table over there and take a picture of it, and I'll be back with my next arrangement to switch from fall to Christmas. Alrighty, I'm back, and I have deconstructed this lantern centerpiece. Now I'm going to reassemble it for Christmas. Let me tell you a little bit about this arrangement. Last year I wanted to do a garland with and have Christmas ornaments mixed in with it. You know, and I had watched a bunch of YouTube videos and tried to see how I could make up my own version of it. Well, I just didn't find what I liked. So one day I was walking around Walmart, of all places, and I found 6-foot long ornament garlands. They're in my colors. I like my burgundies and golds in here at Christmas time. And I grabbed up a bunch of them. And wait till you guys see how our stair decor looks once I get that done. It's not finished yet, but this is kind of a sneak peek of what it looks like. This mixed in with pine garland and white lights. It's really quite pretty. So this is what I'm going to use to go around my lantern instead of pit berries or pine garland or something like that. And I'm simply going to use these as my anchor points, my corner points. Only problem is I only have 3. So I'm actually going to put 2 on the front corner, maybe 1 in the front, on the front corners, and maybe 1 in the front of the lantern. I don't know what happened to the 4th one. I'm not sure if I ever had a 4th one last year, so we're going to go with it. And we're going to just make it work with 3. And then just simply a couple little picks, little shiny gold picks. And I have the same candle and the same lantern. And we just put it right back on our same tray. And remember, this sits on the hearth. And on the hearth I have a lot of white lights and other things moving and shaking around there. So I'm going to put this around first because it tends to have a mind of its own. So I'm going to try to control this thing. It moves quite a bit. But it sure is pretty once it's all put together. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Can I get... Yeah, let's try that. There's a room in the front for one. One in this corner. And then the little picks. And there we go. How does that look on the front? Well, I thought this was going to leave it like that for now. And call it done. So that was tough, wasn't it? Again, about 30 seconds for this one. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, I'll be back with my 3rd example. Okie dokie, I'm back, ready to put together the 3rd arrangement. I deconstructed it from its fall look and am fixing to put it back together for Christmas. First thing I wanted to mention is, again, if you saw my other lantern tutorial, you saw that I use runners for here. Oh my Lord, I'm stuttering. I did want to mention one other thing. If you saw my other lantern tutorial, you know that I use runners, quilted runners or quilted placemats, runners for my island and longer tables, and placemats for my end tables. So the same goes, you know, from season to season. I have runners that I use all year round to go with my generic decor. Sometimes I'll switch them out for, let's say, an Easter runner, or maybe a at Easter time, or a patriotic runner in the, in July. That goes. I switch out my runners and table and placemats a good bit, but it's an easy, cheaper way. I can go. We have a store around here called And That, and they always have really cute quilted placemats and runners and so on. So this was the runner I have on here, on my island here for fall, and I'm switching it out to this runner. It has a bit, this tabletop, or this granite is called Santa Cecilia Gold. So it has a good bit of gold tint to it with blacks and creams, and so I always like to try to pull in the warm creams and a little bit of the gold along with burgundy. Burgundy is one of my favorite colors, and that's what I work with in this area of the house, usually burgundies, khakis, creams. And even for Christmas I pull in the burgundies, and sometimes I'll pull in sparkly whites as I've been doing today, and so on. Anyway, I digress. Yammer, 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 that's all I do. I talk a lot. Here is the same tray that I used for the other one for it. So, sorry this thing is clanging and clanging here. So here goes the same, sorry. It wants my attention, I guess. The same candle holder as I had before, as I used before. And I'm going to go ahead and put a Yankee candle and my favorite Christmas scent, red berry and cedar. Oh my goodness. Instead of pit berries this time, I found another sprig of these really sparkly berries, Christmassy looking berries. So this came on a stem, a really long stem, and I just cut some parts of it off and wrapped them all together and wrapped floral wire around it and made myself a little flower candle ring. So let me see if I can smush this in. Sometimes this, they like to give me trouble here, getting them on here. Oh look, it's going right on for me this time. And I got this little lid. I believe I got this from Yankee Candle as well. Has churches and snowmen and Christmas trees holder. I'm going to use a pine garland. So that goes in first. There we go. And the first thing I'm going to do is put some lights around this. And I chose to use colored lights this time for this arrangement. So I'm going to snug the battery pack. I put two, at least I have two here, so I had two. I'll snug that one on this side. There we go. There's a nice little glow in the evenings. There we go. All right, so let's anchor the corners. I found these poinsettias at Walmart last year, and they have clips on them. So I can just clip them, see that, right onto some of the pine on each corner. Let's do that. There we go. Next thing, I have just two burlap-y looking ornaments. Gracie's barking now. This is my day, what can I say? You know I'm a real person, that's for sure. Alrighty, here we go. They go right here on either side of the candle. And then to fill in, I've got more of the sparkly vines, and I just kind of put them here and there and everywhere, just lay them on top. And there we go. Oh, I can smell it, it smells so good. There we go. Simple as can be, but boy is it pretty. And those lights just kind of twinkle through, and it stays right here on my island. I love it. All right, that does the same three arrangements that I had done the other day, and I switched them out from the fall to Christmas. And I'm going to do one more bonus arrangement for you here real quick. This is an arrangement I made for my Credenza over there underneath the TV, and I'm going to go ahead and make it up for you today. Alrighty, I'm back. Here's my last little example today of how to do a Christmas centerpiece. This isn't really anything, of course, that I have out all year. This is something I purchased last year specifically for Christmas, but I just wanted to show you how I put it together. Of course, I just took a piece of pine garland and just probably that's a section of maybe, I don't know, 2 feet, and then just balled it up and put it in there. And then I just took, and I just have them kind of in and scattered around. And this is the way I packed it up, like this. And I put everything else that goes in it in a couple of Ziploc bags. It just says sled Credenza. And this little fella, and a bell, and this cute little plaque. My family is a bunch of flakes. I will not lament further on that. I'm just kidding. So anyway, right now I have the pine cones, the pine garland, and another strand of those spiffy little lights, colored this time, over here too, or over there it will be. So I'm just going to start by sticking the little, my family is a bunch of flakes, kind of in the back. I want this pine cone to stick up above it a little bit, peek out above it. And then, I just kind of poke things where I think they might look pretty. These are just kind of gold ornaments, cheap ornaments. I think I got them from Walmart or the dollar store, somewhere really cheap. And I just kind of throw them in. When they get stuck on the here and there. I think I might like that behind, kind of peeking out behind. Oops, this. One more here, and I've got some wooden ones too, wooden snowflakes, sled. I just put a couple of those. I've got a total of 4 of these. I remember that I sat this fella kind of here. Now you have to picture this. You're going to be looking, you're never going to see this from behind. The TV is going to be where I'm standing behind this. So I'm making this to look out into the room. So I really only have to worry about it looking good from one angle. And realize I'm usually looking at things. Actually, I'm going to use this down here. And I believe I had a little something set up like this in front of it. Something like that. Again, I don't know what it looks like from the front, but I'm going to go with it. I'm bushed. Not really. I love doing this stuff. Anytime I can create, I'm good. That's what I love to do. Alrighty. I am completely done for the day. I just wanted to take one more second to show you all of the little things we created today. Here's that centerpiece that's going to go on the credenzas and packed up. Here's the arrangement that will sit on the kitchen counter. And here is the arrangement that will sit on the hearth. And then my favorite, this big lantern centerpiece. So I have officially begun decorating for Christmas. Until next time, y'all take good care. Bye-bye.